What if the most powerful god in One Piece never existed at all? What if the sun god Nika, the warrior of liberation, the god who dances, laughs, and defies tyranny, was not an ancient deity from the past, but a god created by human beings? Created not through worship, not through prayer, but through suffering? A god born from humanity's darkest moment. A god forged from fear, from pain, from hope, and from a desire so overwhelming that it changed the very laws of reality. This is the buried truth behind the will of D, Joy Boy, the Poneglyphs, the ancient kingdom, Nefertari D Lily, Zunesha, the ancient weapons, and the 800-year terror of Emu. And it all begins with my original theory. A core idea that ties every mystery together. I believe Nika as a god was created by the will of people. As Vegapunk explained, devil fruits are nothing but the manifestation of desire. When Davy was the king during the Void Century, a power opposed him and defeated him, thus made everyone else slaves. The people during the Void Century desired a god during those hopeless times, a god full of hope and a god who brings smile to the people of the world, who have forgotten how to smile. And that's exactly what the will of D is. It's the will of the people of Davy's clan. So as long as people with the initial D exist, Nika will always exist. The presence of Nika is the only threat to the power of Emu. So the desire and will of the people of Davy's clan manifested the devil fruit of Nika, a god fruit. And Joy Boy was the first person to have eaten that fruit. What you are about to hear will change the way you understand One Piece forever. So, I will divide this theory into 6 parts. Stay with me till the end. Part 1. The king whose defeat created a god. Long before Joy Boy, long before the Poneglyphs, long before the world government, there was King Davy. Davy ruled the ancient kingdom. A civilization so advanced, so revolutionary, so free, that the rest of the world feared it. Under Davy, freedom was absolute. Slavery was banned. Knowledge was shared, not hidden. Laughter was sacred. For the first time in history, human beings lived without chains. He controlled the power of Mother Flame for actual development of his nation. But paradise threatens tyrants. 20 kingdoms somehow, being manipulated by a figure hiding in the shadows. A being known as Emu was one of the king. Rose against Davy in a war and tried to take control over Mother Flame that split the world in two. And in the end, Davy fell. The kingdom burned. The ocean swallowed its glory, and the people of the ancient kingdom, the original bearers of the will of D, were enslaved. Imagine millions of people who once knew freedom so deeply, now forced to kneel. Imagine a world that once laughed, now silenced. Imagine an entire civilization watching the sun disappear behind the shadow of a god king. This moment, this pain, this despair, this absolute hopelessness is what created Nick. Part 2. When hope dies, gods are born. Vegapunk revealed the secret of the world. Devil fruits are created by the desires of humanity. They are not magic. They are not divine gifts. They are wishes made real. So when millions of people in the Void Century lost their king, lost their freedom, lost their families, lost their entire way of life, they all wished for the same thing. Not a weapon, not an army, not vengeance, but a god. A god who could fight for them. A god who could laugh in the face of suffering. A god who could bring the light back to a world without smiles. A god who could defeat Emu. And so, from the deepest pain the world had ever seen, from the purest desire humanity had ever felt, a devil fruit was born. The Hito Hito no Mi model, Nika. Not a mythical zone, not a relic of ancient religion, a manifestation of human desperation and human hope, a god created by the people. And from this fruit came the will of D. The will of D is not a prophecy. It is not destiny. It is the emotional inheritance of the people who created Nika. The world could erase their kingdom. It could erase their culture. It could erase their history, but it could not erase their desire for freedom. As long as even one person carries the will of D, Nika cannot die. This is the one thing Imu can never destroy. Part 3. Joy Boy, the first human god. After the fruit was created, someone had to awaken its true form. That person was Joy Boy. Joy Boy was not chosen by fate. He was not born special. He was not the reincarnation of a god. Joy Boy simply resonated with the same desire. That created Nika. Joy Boy's heart aligned perfectly with the dream of Davy's enslaved people. And so he became the first Nika, the first human to embody the sun god, the first warrior of liberation. He danced, he laughed, he defied the gods, he challenged Imu. But the world wasn't ready yet. Imu was too powerful, the world too fractured, the scars of Davy's death too fresh. Joy Boy failed. But his failure did something even more important. It ensured that Nika would return. Again, and again, and again, as long as people still wished for freedom. Part 4. The woman who saved the future, Nefertari D. Lily. While Joy Boy fought and failed, someone else was carrying out a mission, even more dangerous. Nefertari D. Lily. Lily realized something terrifying. Imu didn't fear Joy Boy. Imu feared the idea of Nika, because if the world ever remembered the truth of how Nika was created, the people could create a god again. Lily knew that Imu's plan was simple. Erase everything. Erase the ancient kingdom, erase Joy Boy, erase Davy, erase the will of D, erase Nika, erase hope itself. So Lily betrayed the 20 kings. She stole the truth of the ancient kingdom. She helped Wano to carve it into indestructible stone tablets. She scattered those tablets across the world. These became the Poneglyphs. The Poneglyphs were not made to tell history. They were made to protect a weapon far more dangerous than Pluton. It's the truth. The truth that Nika was not a myth, not a prophecy, not a legend. The truth that humans created a god. Lily disappeared, almost certainly killed by Imu. But her mission succeeded. The truth survived. Part 5. Why Imu fears the will of D. Imu has lived for 800 years, only with one fear. Manifestation of will of the people, D clan, Nika. Not because of the fruit's abilities, not because of Gear 5, not because of rubber, but because Nika is proof that humanity can create a god whenever it needs one. As long as the will of D exists, as long as even one person refuses to accept oppression, Nika can be born again. This is why Imu hunts the D clan. Why Imu erases whole nations. Why Imu rewrites history. Imu is not fighting against people. Imu is fighting against the human desire for freedom. And that is a war Imu cannot win. Part 6. Luffy, the return of the human god. Luffy is not Joy Boy's chosen successor. He is not a reincarnation. He is not a predicted savior. Luffy simply embodies the exact same desire that created the Nika fruit. He wants freedom for everyone. He laughs in the face of death. He refuses to submit to tyrants. He brings smiles to those who forgot how to smile. Luffy resonates perfectly with the will of Davy's people. And so the fruit awakened. Nika returned. The god created by humanity was reborn. Not because of destiny, but because the world wished for him again.